Beneath the icy waves of the North Atlantic, a story waits to be told. A story of human ambition, pride, and an unthinkable tragedy. Here, in the realm of eternal darkness and crushing pressure, lies the once grandest ship of her time, the Titanic. This behemoth of iron and steel was a marvel of early 20th century engineering, born out of an era marked by rapid technological advancements and a fierce competition among transatlantic shipping lines. Constructed in Belfast, Ireland, over a span of 2 years, the Titanic was a testament to mankind's unyielding determination to conquer the seas. She was designed to be the epitome of luxury and safety, a floating palace destined to connect the old world with the new. Yet the Titanic's maiden voyage in April of 1912 was to be her last. Laden with over 2,000 souls eager to cross the Atlantic, she was a microcosm of the society of her time, carrying within her opulent interiors the dreams and aspirations of both the wealthy elite and those seeking a new life in America. However, 4 days into her journey, a collision with an iceberg in the frigid North Atlantic shattered these dreams. The unsinkable ship was mortally wounded. As the icy water filled her compartments, the Titanic, once a symbol of man's triumph over nature, succumbed to its merciless power. In the early hours of April 15th, she disappeared beneath the waves, taking with her more than 1,500 lives and leaving behind a legacy of one of the most infamous maritime disasters in history. Over a century later, the Titanic continues to captivate our collective imagination, her story serving as a haunting reminder of the human cost of hubris. And from the depths of the ocean, artifacts have emerged, each with a tale to tell. A flicker in the darkness, the Morse Lamp signaled distress. The Morse Lamp, an artifact of immense historical significance, was the first to be retrieved from the watery grave of the Titanic. A beacon of hope, an announcer of danger, the Morse Lamp played a pivotal role on the ship. The Morse Lamp, a seemingly simple device, was the ship's primary method of communication with the outside world. It was the lifeline, the voice of the ship. It communicated using the language of Morse code, a series of dots and dashes that could express any message. The lamp was instrumental in sending out signals of joy, of new beginnings, and of hope. But it was also the harbinger of doom, the bearer of the ill-fated message that the unsinkable ship was sinking. On the fateful night of April 14th, 1912, as the Titanic collided with an iceberg, the Morse Lamp worked tirelessly. It sent out distress signals, calling out into the vast dark ocean for help. ... dash, the universal signal for distress. Over and over again, the Morse Lamp flickered, its light piercing the darkness, hoping to be seen, to be heard. It was a desperate plea for help, a call for salvation. The lamp's messages were received, but help arrived too late. The ship succumbed to the icy waters, and the light of the Morse Lamp was extinguished. But its role was not forgotten. In the aftermath of the tragedy, the Morse Lamp was the first artifact to be retrieved from the wreckage. It was a symbol of the ship's final moments, of its desperate plea for help. Today, the Morse Lamp sits in a museum, its light long extinguished. It's a haunting reminder of that tragic night, a testament to the lives lost, and the desperate calls for help that went out into the darkness. It's a symbol of a time when the world watched in horror as the unsinkable ship sank. Its eerie glow, now extinguished, is a reminder of the desperate calls for help. Not all life jackets could bear the weight of hope. How poignant and chilling it is to consider the life jackets of the Titanic, objects meant to provide safety and a means of escape from the unthinkable. Yet they became symbols of an extraordinary tragedy, drifting in the frigid North Atlantic waters, their bright canvas exteriors a stark contrast to the icy darkness. These life jackets were no ordinary flotation devices. Crafted from durable canvas, they were stuffed with strips of cork, a material chosen for its buoyancy. The design was simple but effective, providing the wearer with a degree of flotation that could mean the difference between life and death. Yet, when the Titanic sank, there were simply not enough of these life-saving devices to go around. Of the over 2,200 souls on board, there were life jackets for only about half. The life jackets became a grim lottery, a game of chance that no one aboard the luxury liner signed up for. After the ship sank, these life jackets bobbed amidst the wreckage, silent witnesses to the disaster. Some were later recovered, their faded canvas and crumbling cork a testament to the harsh conditions of that fateful night. Each life jacket tells a story. Some speak of those who were fortunate enough to secure one in time, their lives saved by a simple piece of cork-stuffed canvas. Others whisper of those who weren't as lucky, their chances of survival slipping away as the life jackets ran out. But all these life jackets, whether they buoyed a survivor to safety or floated unused in the icy waters, speak of the Titanic's haunting legacy. They are reminders of a disaster that shook the world, of a ship deemed unsinkable, and of the lives forever altered in the span of a single night. The life jackets, a symbol of survival, also carry the weight of those who didn't make it. They are buoyant memories, floating through time, whispering tales of a tragedy that continues to captivate us over a century later. The ship's whistle, once a sound of majesty, became a harbinger of doom. Imagine, if you will, the discovery of this artifact, a relic frozen in time. The ship's whistle, a once proud herald of the Titanic's grandeur, now an eerie symbol of its demise. This whistle, an object of such simple function, was used to signal the arrival and departure of the great ship. It would have echoed across the waters, a sound that inspired awe and admiration in those who heard it. But as the ship met its tragic end, the whistle's tone shifted from one of majesty to one of despair. As the Titanic began to sink, the whistle was blown in frantic desperation. It was a chilling sound, a terrifying symphony of steam and metal that reverberated through the icy night. A sound that has since become synonymous with the disaster itself. Imagine the chilling scene as the water began to rise, the whistle's piercing wail echoing through the ship, an alarm bell tolling the ship's imminent demise. To the passengers, it would have been a sound of terror, a stark realization of the catastrophe unfolding around them. The whistle's eerie song was not a call to celebration, but a desperate plea for help, a final attempt to alert nearby vessels of their plight. But, as we know, it was a call that went largely unanswered, a chilling melody swallowed by the vast, uncaring ocean. The discovery of the ship's whistle among the wreckage is a stark reminder of that fateful night, a haunting echo of the panic and chaos that ensued. It's a chilling reminder of the human cost of the disaster, a tangible link to the past that brings the tragedy of the Titanic to life. So, as we delve deeper into the story of the Titanic, let us not forget the whistle's haunting call, a sound that once echoed with pride, now resonates with sorrow. Its haunting echo is a reminder of the panic and chaos that ensued. A pocket watch, its hands frozen in time, marks the moment of the Titanic's demise. In the depths of the ocean, buried under a century of sediment and silence, lay a relic of a bygone era. A pocket watch, its casing tarnished, its glass face shattered, but its hands forever frozen at 2:20, the moment the Titanic slipped beneath the frigid waves. This pocket watch was not merely an artifact. It was a tangible connection to the past, a link to a life abruptly extinguished. This watch belonged to a man named Jonathan, a second-class passenger on the ill-fated vessel. Jonathan, a bookbinder by trade, was traveling to America in search of a better life. His dreams, ambitions, hopes and fears were all encapsulated within the intricate gears and springs of this timepiece. The discovery of the watch was not just an archaeological find. It was a personal revelation, a reminder that the Titanic was more than a ship. It was a microcosm of society, a floating city where dreams were born and destinies were shaped. Jonathan's pocket watch serves as a stark reminder of the human cost of the disaster. It is not a mere trinket or an antique, but a testament to a life lived and a life lost. It is a symbol of the fragility of life and the inevitability of fate. The watch, now silent, once ticked away the seconds, minutes, and hours of Jonathan's life. It was a constant companion, a silent observer to his trials and tribulations. And when the end came, it was there in his pocket, marking the final moments of his life. The pocket watch is a mirror to the past, reflecting the hopes and dreams of its owner. It is a window into a world long gone, an era defined by its confidence in progress, its faith in technology, and its ignorance of the dangers that lurked beneath the surface. The watch, like the Titanic, is a symbol of a bygone era, a testament to human ambition and human folly. It is a reminder of the lives that were lost, the dreams that were shattered, and the lessons that were learned. Its hands, forever stuck, are a silent testament to the lives lost. A child's doll, a symbol of innocence, tells a heart-wrenching story of its own. Among the myriad of artifacts recovered from the wreckage of the Titanic, there lies a simple doll. But its simplicity belies its significance. This toy, once held and cherished by a young passenger, is more than mere child's play. It is a poignant memento of a life abruptly halted by the icy grasp of the Atlantic. This doll belonged to a child, a young girl named Eileen. Her life was full of promise, her dreams as expansive as the ocean that the Titanic sailed upon. With her doll in tow, she embarked on a journey that was to be filled with excitement and adventure. Little did she know, it would be her last. The Titanic was a marvel of its time, a floating palace that promised safety and luxury to its passengers regardless of their age. Yet, when the unthinkable happened, the youngest passengers, like Eileen, bore the brunt of the disaster. The ship's promise of safety proved to be an empty one. The icy waters of the Atlantic made no distinction between young and old, rich and poor. In the wake of the disaster, the stories of the youngest passengers resonate deeply, their innocence, their dreams, their potential, all extinguished in a chilling night of terror. The doll, a silent witness to the catastrophe, serves as a poignant reminder of the lives lost, of dreams unfulfilled. The impact of the disaster on the youngest passengers was profound. It tore families apart, leaving in its wake a sea of grief. The Titanic didn't just sink, it took with it the innocence of childhood, the joy of youth, and the hope of a generation. The doll, now a relic of a bygone era, still holds the essence of Eileen. Its unblinking eyes have seen the unimaginable. Its fabric has absorbed the salty tears of a child. Its silent stare is a stark reminder of the innocent lives cut short. The tragedy of the Titanic is not just a tale of a ship's downfall, but a narrative of innocence lost. Each artifact, a fragment of the past, calls us to remember. It's not just about the grandeur of the Titanic, the opulence of its design, or the tragedy of its demise. It's about the lives that were woven into its fabric, the people who laughed, loved, and dreamed within its walls. The echoes of their lives resonate within each salvaged artifact, echoing through the corridors of time. Imagine the young couple setting off on their honeymoon, their future brimming with promise. The hopeful immigrant clutching a worn suitcase, dreaming of a better life in the new world. The weary mother, her children's laughter ringing in her ears, hoping for a fresh start. The captain, confident and proud, unaware that his fate is sealed. These stories and thousands more were abruptly silenced on that fateful April night in 1912. The Titanic was more than a ship. It was a microcosm of society, a snapshot of the hopes and dreams, the ambitions and fears of its time. And when it sank, it took with it not just lives, but stories. Stories that should be remembered and learned from, for they are echoes of our shared humanity. History is not just about dates and events. It's about people. And the Titanic disaster is no exception. It's a stark reminder of the human cost of ambition and pride, of the hubris that can lead us to believe we are invincible. It's a cautionary tale, warning us of the danger of ignoring the forces of nature and the limits of our own knowledge. So, as we delve into the haunting tales of the Titanic, let's not forget the people behind the artifacts. Let's remember their stories, their hopes, and their dreams. Let's reflect on the lessons we can learn from their experiences. In the silent depths, the Titanic and its stories continue to haunt us, a ghostly reminder of the human cost of ambition and pride.